Today we are going to have a topic of Phillips curve. Actually, what is meant by a Phillips curve? Actually, he was a person from New Zealand, and he gave the concept that there is a trade-off between inflation rate and unemployment rate. When we have more unemployment, there is less inflation rate, and when we have less rate of unemployment, there will be more inflation rate in the country. So basically, Phillips curve that was showing us a relationship between inflation rate and unemployment. There is a trade-off. There is a trade-off. Trade-off means when one variable increases in value, the other one will be decreasing. There is a trade-off between unemployment rate, and inflation in the economy. Inflation rates in the economy. Alright. So according to him, he was of the view that whenever there is going to be more inflation, it is having less unemployment in the economy. So there is a trade-off between unemployment and inflation rates in the economy. This is basically a Keynesian phenomenon. According to Maynard Keynes, whenever more and more government spending is made, unemployment will be decreasing. So, according to Keynesian thought, if aggregate supply is horizontal, then prices will not be increasing. But at the rising part of the aggregate supply curve, in the long run, inflation can also be resulting due to increase in aggregate demand in the economy. So, we are taking the short-run aggregate supply curve here. Look here, this is the real GDP. This is what real GDP, and this is the price level. And this is aggregate demand. And this is what? Short-run aggregate supply. So when government spending is increasing, what is going to happen? Aggregate demand will be shifting rightward. And we have increase in general price level during the short run. We are not in the long run. So what is happening? Equilibrium will shift at E2 and prices will be increasing. And we all know the demand of labor is derived demand. This is what? Indirect demand of labor. When we have more demand of goods and services in the market, goods demand is increasing. So in the labor market, what is going to happen? This is called what? Labor, and here we find wages. So if aggregate demand is increasing in the product market, labor demand will also be increasing. So previously this number of workers, L1 number of workers were employed at this wage rate, and now the wages have increased due to increase in labor demand in the market, and employment has also increased. Basically, Phillips, he found the relationship between unemployment in terms of percentage, and here he was taking the wages instead of inflation. He found this relationship between wages and unemployment, that whenever wages are increasing in the market, unemployment will be decreasing because labor demand is increasing. So he was of the view that wages and unemployment rate, they are inversely related with each other. So when wages are higher and higher due to increase in labor demand in the market, so what is going to happen? We will be having less and less unemployment in the economy. So unemployment will be less when wages are high, and unemployment rate will be higher when wages are going to decrease due to fall in labor demand in the market, in the labor market. So basically he found this relationship, but later on another follower, he found the same thing is happening with the inflation rate. That means if we find wages or rate of inflation on the vertical side, inflation rate, inflation in percentages, so we see as unemployment rate is falling, people are getting employed, they are able to get new and new jobs in the market because aggregate demand is increasing due to government spending. So what is happening? They will rush towards the market to buy more goods and services. So there is less supply of goods and services in the market basically. So it will put pressure on the prices to rise. So inflation will be increasing when rate of unemployment is falling. So unemployment and rate of inflation both are inversely related with each other. That means whenever there is fall in unemployment rate, there will be increase in inflation rate in the economy. This is what Phillips curve is telling us, that there is going to be an inverse relationship between rate of inflation and the rate of unemployment in the economy. This is what Phillips found in the short run, that Phillips curve will be downward sloping during the short run. It is Keynesian phenomena that whenever there is going to be increase in aggregate demand and unemployment will be falling, and due to fall in unemployment, people will be having more income, they will be going to the market to buy more goods and services, and producers haven't increased their supply yet, so that will create a shortage in the market, and due to that shortage, price level will be increasing for the general basket of goods and services. So there will be increase in inflation as well due to fall in unemployment. So when unemployment increases, so what happens? Inflation will be falling because aggregate demand will be falling, and now we will be having less rate of inflation in the economy. So this is about Phillips curve in the short run. Now Milton Friedman, the monetarist thought, the founder of monetarist thought or new classical economics, he was of the view that this phenomena, if you are saying it is present in the short run, it is not the case in the long run, because whenever there is increase in money supply in the economy, it is causing inflationary pressure in the market. So due to increase in inflation, the real wages of workers, they will be decreasing. Although they are looking at the nominal wages, that their nominal wages are going to rise, but their real wages are going to decrease. So due to fall in real wages, what is happening? Many of the workers, they will leave the labor market. They will not be willing to work as their real wages are not increasing, although there is increase in nominal wages. But at the same time, if you look at the profits of the entrepreneurs, due to increase in inflation rate, their real profit level will be decreasing, and they will be cutting back their investments for the future years, because their real profits are going to decline due to increase in more inflation rate in the country. So when they are cutting down their investments, so ultimately what is happening? More labor force will be made redundant in order to make their profit level the same one as the previous level. So when more workers are made redundant, so unemployment will be present, but with a higher rate of inflation in the economy. So in long run I am going to tell you, this Phillips curve will be a vertical shape where inflation and unemployment will be coexisting, and we will be finding a vertical Phillips curve. Now see how is it working. See over here. This is unemployment in percentage we are taking, and here I am taking inflation in percentage. So this is the Phillips curve. Here at zero rate of inflation, this is called natural rate of unemployment. Natural rate of unemployment, I haven't told you about it, that it is the level of unemployment or the rate of unemployment which we say it is present in the economy at zero rate of inflation. Like if you say there is a full employment, the full employment means 98% of the total labor force is employed and 2% of the labor force is just shifting from one job to another. 2 or 3% of rate of unemployment is called what? There is going to be a natural rate of unemployment, that people are shifting from one job to another. So this is called at zero rate of inflation. If unemployment is present, this is called natural rate of unemployment. So natural rate of unemployment means in labor market, whatever labor is demanded, it is supplied at this wage rate. So, but the labor force is like this. So, at this wage rate, these number of workers are unemployed. They are not provided a job because only the equilibrium level of workers who are employed at this wage rate, whatever the number of workers who are demanded, they are supplied. But still, some of the workers are left over to get the job. They can be voluntarily unemployed, they are not willing to work at this wage rate. So this is called the natural rate of unemployment, which is also given a name non-accelerating inflation rate of unemployment, non-accelerating inflation rate of unemployment or NAIRO. So this is called a natural rate of unemployment which is present at zero rate of inflation. Now suppose it is 8%, which we say it is present in the economy at present at zero rate of inflation. This is the unemployment rate which is present. Now government wants to reduce this unemployment rate. So what happens? Government increases its spending or decreases taxes, or taxes are decreased. So what happens? Inflation is increasing at 4%. Now prices are growing by 4%. And now government is able to reduce unemployment at this level, you can say at 5%. So unemployment rate has gone down temporarily in the short run. When we find that government has increased its spending in order to increase employment opportunities for the people, so inflation is also increasing but unemployment is decreasing. So when workers are realizing that their real wages are decreasing, so what is going to happen in the labor market? If I say what happens in the labor market, this is your labor market in the down diagram, in the lower diagram I should say. This is the labor market, labor demand, this is labor supply. So previously this was increasing labor demand due to increasing government spending. So when their real wages are not increasing, their real wages are going to decrease. So many of the workers, they will be leaving their labor force. They are not getting employed. Now we find that the same level of employment is existing, but with even higher wages. Because many of the workers, they left the labor market because their real wages are not increasing, rather they are decreasing because prices are increasing by more rate. So in that case, the same employment level is present. So what is going to happen? Phillips curve will shift again towards right. And now economy is having same rate of unemployment, but now in the coming year the rate of inflation which is set in the economy, that is 4%. Previously this rate of unemployment was present at zero rate of inflation. Now due to increasing government spending, the government borrowed money from the central bank, which is going to create inflation in the economy. And when firms and workers, they have reformed their expectations, rational expectations, they have formed that in future prices will be further increasing. So the entrepreneurs, they had decreased their investment for the future years as their profit in real terms will be declining. And workers, when they are also reforming their rational expectations, so what happens? Now workers will also be leaving the market, and what is happening? The same rate of unemployment is present but with higher rate of inflation. And in the second year, again government attempts to reduce unemployment. Now inflation is set at, you can say, at 6%. Government is able to reduce in the short run. Again unemployment rate is decreasing, but again in the expectation formation by the workers and entrepreneurs, they again reduce their labor supply. Okay, so we find the same rate of employment or unemployment is existing when we find that Phillips curve is again shifting rightward. So we find that now the same rate of unemployment is present, but with higher rate of inflation. Now inflation is set in the economy at 6%. So if we join these vertical points, so we will have a long run Phillips curve which is vertical according to monetarist or new classical thought. According to monetarist and new classical thought, in the long run, unemployment rate will be at the same level as before the government intervention started. But now the higher and higher rate of inflation is setting due to increase in money supply in the economy. Government started borrowing money from the central bank, and central bank is going to print new notes. And due to printing of new notes, what is going to happen? There will be increase in inflationary pressure in the economy. Economy will become unstable, inherently unstable due to increase in money supply in the economy. So the Phillips curve in the long run will be vertical in shape. We can find inflation and unemployment both are coexisting in the long run because of increase in money supply in the economy. So unemployment and inflation are coexisting. So Phillips curve will be vertical, and the economy is unable to change the rate of unemployment due to increasing government spending, as money supply along with that has also increased. So this is the Phillips curve. We analyze in short run it is downward sloping. It shows us inverse relationship between inflation rate and unemployment during the short run, but in long run we can find it does not work accurately because of the expectation formations, rational expectations formed by both workers and entrepreneurs, and we found both inflation rate and unemployment, they are coexisting, and we can find stagflation in the long run because inflation is always caused, can be caused by increasing money supply in the market. Now come towards the Laffer curve. What is meant by Laffer curve? What is the meaning of Laffer curve? Laffer curve, it shows the relationship, between the tax rates and the tax revenues. Do you think government can get more and more, government will be able to collect more tax revenues when it is going to increase the rate of income tax or more direct taxes are increased? So when there is going to be, I am writing over here, this is the tax rate which is measured in terms of percentages. You can say this is the average tax rate. Average tax rate, and here I am finding tax revenue. So first of all, keep it in mind, I say what is happening government tax revenue is zero. Because no tax is imposed, revenue is zero. As government is increasing the tax rate, its revenue at the start it is increasing. So when it reaches to this point, you can say this is the 40% of tax rate. That average rate of tax is 40% of income which is taken as a tax. So government is able to get the maximum tax revenue. And if after this government is continuously increasing the rate of tax, its tax revenue is falling due to tax avoidance or tax evasion. Tax avoidance means when taxes are avoided by a legal way, that people are saving their taxes by legal way, which are the loopholes which are present in our taxation system. People can save their taxes by using those legal ways. But tax evasion means when people are saving taxes by illegal ways, that they are not declaring their right level of income, or the earning of income is itself illegal, like it is earned by smuggling activities. So we can say, or by any bribery activities, so people are evading the taxes. So at 100% rate of tax, like whatever income is earned by a person, it is totally paid to the government in the form of tax. So no one will be working at 100% rate of income tax. So again government will be able to collect zero tax revenue. So between 0 and 100, we find that if tax rate is increasing above 40%, there is going to be disincentive to hard work. If you remember what is meant by moderate rate of tax on the additional income, when additional tax rate is increasing, so what is going to happen? The tax revenue will be decreasing because people will be having disincentive to work hard. They will get early retired, or they will not be getting any promotion in their work activities, because if they get promoted they have to pay more taxes. Rather their disposable income will also be declining. So Laffer curve basically shows that it is not the solution that every time when government increases the tax rates, its total tax revenue will also be increasing. It was at a certain limit that up to 30% or 40% of income tax rate, the tax revenue can be increasing, and after that if government is still increasing the tax rates, so its revenue will be decreasing due to disincentive to hard work and disincentive to invest as well. The corporations, they will not be investing in the country where corporate direct taxes on profits they are also high, and again the tax revenue will be declining. Or tax avoidance, when people are saving taxes by the legal ways, and tax evasions when there is going to be illegal saving of taxes. So optimum tax rate is that where tax revenue of the government is maximized. So in this diagram we can see 40% can be the optimum tax rate, where tax rate at this tax rate the tax revenue of the government is maximized. It can be 30%, it can be 35%, anyways it depends upon according to the economic situations of a country. So what is the optimum tax rate? And it can be increased when more economic activities are increasing in the country. So we find that Laffer curve shows the relationship between the average tax rate and tax revenues. Now do you think whatever the government macroeconomic policies are there, like fiscal, monetary, supply side policies, exchange rate policies, do you think they are always having good results? How can we see these policies are becoming unsuccessful to achieve the macroeconomic objectives of the government? There are three reasons. What are those? The time lags. Three types of time lags are present. One is called recognition lag. What do you mean by recognition lag? That shows what? At what time we found the problem Do you think government has recognized the problem of macroeconomy at the right time? The recognition of the problem can be a lag. When government is recognizing the problem, it is going to have a different nature once it is going to implement its tools to overcome the macroeconomic problem. So there can be implementation lag. Implementation lag once government is recognizing the problem and then it is implementing its policies to overcome that problem. So if it is delaying the implementation of its macroeconomic policy, so it is not going to give us a desired results. And the third lag, that is called behavioral lag. Behavioral lag means what? It takes time to change the behavior of human beings according to the desired goals. Like we have studied the nudge theory, which is also a behavioral insight. So when government wants to change the human behavior, it will also be taking more time. There can be a behavioral lag. So government policies can be unsuccessful when there is recognition lag of the macroeconomic policies. There is implementation lag or there is behavioral lag. Government policies can become unsuccessful. So in order to have successful macroeconomic policies, we need to study how government is recognizing the macroeconomic problem and how will it implement its economic tools in order to overcome that problem. Is it the right time to implement that economic tool to overcome the problem? And do we think that people have also changed their behavior according to the desired goals of the government? So this is what the time lags which are present. They may come into your MCQs. And the one thing which is left over, that is foreign aid and corruption. You can study by yourself what are the different types of foreign aid which a country can find. Okay, so that is the end of the main topics of our syllabus. So we have concluded today. So I will suggest to have a 2 days break from economics lesson. If principal accepts my request that we have completed our syllabus, then I will tell you whether there will be class tomorrow or not. But till now, this is the syllabus of our Prima exams, which is coming in January 2021. After your opening of schools, as your school opens, so then you have to appear in your exams as well. So keep it in mind. I'm planning to have 2 pre-mocks, one from micro and another from macroeconomics. The first 3 chapters of microeconomics will have one exam. There will be 2 papers, MCQs and structured paper, section A and section B. And in case of macroeconomics, again we will be having the 2 papers, paper 3 and paper 4. And you will be given a choice as well. Instead of 6 questions in section B, I will be giving you 4 questions in each, and you have to answer 2 out of them. And then we will find the MCQs, 15 MCQs in each paper, paper 3 of micro and macro. That makes our sense of making the paper like this is according to Cambridge format. And we will try our level best to make you prepare for Cambridge examination. Thank you.